Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've been live on YouTube. Welcome to my live stream. Today I am at a different location in Second Life. I've never been here before. It's actually on the LEA, one of the LEA sims. LEA7 is called Salt. It's created by the talented Eliza Wierwight, who is standing right beside me. And I was lucky enough to, kind of con her into showing me around. Not sure if she's really happy about that, but hopefully she'll give us a great tour of her place and tell us all about it. So, Eliza, you're still there, right? I haven't lost you, hopefully.
I'm here. Hi.
Say hi to everybody on YouTube. We have quite a few different
Hi on
viewers on
YouTube. Waving my hands in real life as well.
That's great. So this place is called Salt. And I remember last year when I went to SL14B, I think it was, I saw a little there were sculptures or kind of like an exhibit of yours, and it was just beautiful. And you contacted me like about a month ago telling me that you're going to be expanding that into one of the LEA sims. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, Safia had come to me and asked me to contribute to a piece, and it's a pretty heavy topic, 1 billion rising when you fully.
Yes.
So it was 8 little segments addressing at the time things that were concerning to me, and it was just I'm getting all tongue-tied here.
No, you're fine.
It was something it was a valid, application of my time and effort, and certainly came with authentic emotion.
Yeah, it was very emotional. I remember it. It was one of my favorite pieces at SL14B last year.
Thank you.
So, yeah, right. So how did you kind of incorporate that in this? I'm just going to cam around a little bit. You call this Salt, this place, right?
Yeah.
So tell us more about it. I'm guilty of not reading the whole no card completely. So tell us more about it.
I'll try and be guilty of not ranting too much.
We love rants.
That 1 billion rising piece had like a longevity of 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I thought, I really need to do more with this. I owed myself a break from commercial work in world because I love doing art. If that's all I ever had to do in my life, I'd be one happy girl, And
you have the talent for it. You have the talent for it. Absolutely.
I like to dabble. So, and thank you. I wanted to expand it further. Some of the topics had such gravity that I refused to see them as disposable. So, had a little mused over it for a month or so, and then made an application to the Linden Endowment for the Arts to see if they would give me some, assets so that I could move forward with this. And then, of course,
awesome.
I'd had this idea bouncing around in my head for a few years that I was going to do this big thing, and I won't go into it too much detail because most of it hit the floor and didn't ever eventuate because it grew and morphed. But some of I've woven that original work into this because just about everything in this work matters to me. Yeah. Some of it are my stories, some of it are other people's stories. And I'm calling, salt is something that's a commonality with the human race. It's just about anywhere in the world you go, you will find it in a kitchen. And I had this idea of, because there's such a complexity of topics, of breaking this work up so that people could wrap their minds around what I was trying to express with it, into like a menu of sorts. So you are moving through a sort of like, I'm calling it degustation menu. So it's an arts menu. You're moving through this menu of topics. So you can come to each thing as if a meal's placed in front of you, consider it, not consider it, walk away, stay, whatever, and then move on to the next one. But there is a progression through it. There's other stuff in there, Strawberry, but I think I should stop ranting at this point. Maybe
it's great. So maybe we can walk around a little bit and show. So this is the landing point. This is where people will land when they come here.
Yeah, it's very much designed not to be cammed. Although if people want to see the larger build, which is the part that I do when I get stuck.
I'm guilty of camming a little bit, but I won't. I'll stop camming now. We'll walk everywhere.
It's look, builders. It's a very understandable in-world thing to do to cam out.
Yeah.
But I designed this work thinking about the viewer arriving and then navigating through each section. So I really, I've put a lot of consideration into that. So it's what I'd want, so it's what I'm trying to offer other people.
Excellent. So which way would you like people to walk when they get here? Like where should we head?
There's only one way you can go without ending up in the water, and that's straight ahead. So,
this way, right? I love it. I love the candles over here. Kind of adds really a lot to the ambiance here. So really beautiful. So all of this is your creation, all these sculptures and so forth that we see here.
The vast majority is my hand. Mm-hmm. There is a little bit of, well, I don't know. If you're going to run, certainly did not make these beautiful candles. Okay. There are certain things I don't have either. It could come under, I don't have the skill base. I've only been working in mesh for about 4.5 months now. It may be that I don't want to reinvent the wheel, or just totally out of the league of what I'm actually able to create myself at the time.
Well, I've heard old-time creators say that they're with prims they feel like there's more creativity when they use prims than mesh. I don't know how accurate that is.
This is everything. Yeah. I don't care. I'm indiscriminate about the structure. Mm-hmm. If mesh is going to get me there, and mesh certainly does in some really beautiful organic ways, and mesh it is. If throwing a standard prim down and putting a texture on it, I've made works like under this plated area here to our right, then so be it. If I happen to remember a sculpt in something I released commercially, a year ago, is going to allow me to express something physically in world, I'm pulling that from inventory because I've got a lot to do.
This is true, very true.
To say.
So what you're using Maya or Blender for this?
Blender, Sculptress, and ZBrush are the ones that I'm still tinkering with at the moment. Okay. I jump between different programs pending the goal at hand.
No, that's wonderful that you're using all these. So this down here, I wanted to look at this. This one looks, oops, I just fell in the water. This over here, I saw, oh my God, I'm like totally in the water.
Oh no, that's it. You can stay down there now.
I know, I'm just trapped. I think I ended up at the landing point now. Let me see. There we go. I wanted to look at this this sculpture over here. You have her mouth kind of covered with an X. What's the symbolism behind this?
Well, it started out that I wanted to do a welcoming piece that looks at it was sort of, this was almost like the sign for salt, if that makes sense. So it was looking at racial diversity, grief in the tear symbolism, the going back to the menu stuff, and the denial of being broken. So it was sort of like, basically, I just didn't want to put Salt by Eliza Wierwight posters all over the place. And then it just sort of sat here, and I got so busy with the rest of it, I never came back and affirmed any more meaning to it than that.
Oh, this is a really strong piece.
So you're seeing the texture on top of the water and the texture on this sculpture, and most of them actually is salt that photographed at home and then run through some programs too.
Oh, wow.
And I loved using it. It's all through the work. So just a very, appealing texture for me, but meaningful at the same time.
I love it. So then we continue walking behind this sculpture over here. Like I know there's how does it all connect? Okay, I'm probably gonna fall again. Just gonna tell you this right now. I'm
gonna make some breadcrumbs, and I'm just gonna like little strawberry breadcrumbs all the way up.
I'm just like I'm like all over the place because I'm trying to cam around at the same time. And is this rain that you have here?
You're being a technician and a rock star and interviewing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just being strawberry.
Oh, this is lovely. This is like a little bit of rain you have here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a quote. Red bestial, I'm sure she moves her face forward around her little muzzle. Oh. I love this teacup. Your pieces kind of speak for themselves as well. And that's how I felt about I kept saying SL14B, but it was at 1 Billion Rising, actually, that I saw your, I don't know why, yeah, back in February.
This is one of my first sculptures, and dear friend of mine who's on the sim at the moment, I had done a couple of simple things, and I said to him, I want to do a representation of the little dancer age 14. And he said to me, no, that's, too out of your scope for your experience. And I'm like, well, I'm going to give it a shot. So I probably spent a terrible amount of time on that piece. I don't regret it because I was coming to terms with the tools, but I really wanted her recognised. And, of course, she had her introduction at that other. She's had the intervention with the cup now, though. So,
yeah.
It's a burden. I won't go, if I start talking about some of the background information of these pieces, which people can, they can catch that in the note cards, they can catch it in the work itself.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably just want to go and have a
when people land, they get a note card, and that describes all of the pieces that you have here, right? I haven't looked at it.
It does.
Okay, great.
There's enough hints. There's a short note card, which is if you want the hi Nax. Oh, he can't. Nax is here.
I was wondering who that was. Nax is...
I'll just say hi to Nax. He's a dear friend. I don't want to ignore him, if you don't mind.
No, of course. I'm sorry. I kind of invaded your opening. Today is let me tell the people that are on YouTube. Today is the actual opening of SALT. So we are at the ceremony. I guess it's the exhibition, and I kind of invaded and requested your attention.
It seems Nax is actually sprinkling salt on me at the moment. Wonder if that's good luck.
That's what it looks like. He's got a little salt shaker in his hand. I like his avatar too.
Yes. Sorry, Strawberry, I didn't mean to talk over you like that.
No.
I was just being distracted.
That happens in streams, don't worry. I'm so used to that. What do we do? We continue on walking behind here? Okay. So, because I know that there's a lot of water and so forth. I want to make sure people know which way to walk exactly so they're not falling like I did.
As I was saying, there's the shorthand note card which gives the philosophy of the work. And then there's I call it the note card for masochists. I hate writing them. I really detest. I think, you create the work, that's enough.
But it's good to give people a little bit of a background too, right?
Yeah, I get it. But it can be, it's challenging. I don't want to spoon feed people either. We're intelligent, emotional human beings can take from work what they wish to. So you walk a fine line with that. So there is a second note card that's all deep and personal that gives more detail. For the sort of people that want more detail, it's there.
Yeah.
But I haven't written any essays.
So this is a picture of Marilyn Monroe looking at a sculpture. Is that? I've never seen this picture of her before. Where did you get this one?
Well, when I was originally doing the earlier work, and this sculpture is perhaps not evident to you by my mesh work, the same sculpture that I've done my version of.
Oh, right. In
the teacup. So just, I did a lot of research when I was, podcasts and reading and books and, our dear friend Google and any other avenue that occurred to me. And this cropped up at one point because that original work was called Fourth Position. And I just had never seen it either, and I thought how absolutely perfect. The emotional tone of this image and that it worked with what I'd already started creating. It was, a given. I had to use it.
It's wonderful. So you said you were kind of inspired by Marilyn Monroe. I was reading very quickly. I was kind of skimming the first note card or something.
Well, look, I'm not one of those as if they're a bad sort of person, but I've never had a Marilyn Monroe print on a wall in my home. I've never fixated. There are some people that are really into Marilyn.
Yeah.
As I got older and learned more about her life past the veneer of, the veneer itself, I've formed a deep appreciation for it. You know, these incredible creative people who gone far too soon. And we see that represented over and over and over again in history. So her story plays into this work to some degree, because part of salt is sort of a representation of all the insult, injury, whether it's self-inflicted, inflicted by others, that can occur to people in this journey of life. And we'll perhaps get more into the philosophy later on.
Yeah, she was a survivor of that as well. No, I love it. I love it.
She carried her salt. You know, if children are being abused or maligned, it just comes in so many different ways. But, you know, I see a redemption at the end for some, and we meet that at the end of this work.
Oh, great. So let's keep going. Wanna see what else you have in store for us. And if you do, I mean, I feel like I'm hogging all your time while you have all your visitors visiting the exhibition. Do let me know if you need to run or anything. I'll absolutely understand.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I love the little dresses in this. I hope I went the right way. Did I lose you?
You did. And I can't take credit for those. So it's you know, it's SL. I like to do a little staging, if that makes sense. So something a little theatre to things, you know. So
it's like ballerina.
I thought they said a good joke. Yeah, for this section. Mm-hmm.
Let me look around a little bit. Yeah, I was just looking at my live stream and somebody was asking if this was one of Bryn O's creations. I had to correct them.
Oh my!
Yeah, I was like, that's great that you know, they're thinking that as well. But I mean, I feel like you are such a talent within yourself. I've seen your work for so many years. I've blogged about it. The Patron House was one of the most impressive homes back in the day. I can't even remember what year that was when I blogged it. It was at least 5 years ago, I think.
Long time ago, and very grateful for it as well.
It was wonderful.
Like, okay, if I'm going to put this much work into something, who would I desperately like on my golden list of people? I'm like, do you think Strawberry would blog it?
I was happy to. It was wonderful. So I've seen your work for so many years, and then oh my god, my favorite thing you ever did was the elephant piece, where you had the oh my god, that was wonderful. And then you raised so much money for that. So you've been a wonderful artist in Second Life for so many years. So I hope people come and visit. I've left the location in the description of the YouTube video. If you guys want to join us right now as well, you guys can come. Which way do I walk now? I love you have like ballet pictures of Marilyn Monroe over here.
And these are supposed to be, oh, there you go. They're not moving. There you go. They're supposed to all be moving. Yeah, absolutely. Through here, if you follow the fuel on the ground here.
Well, we have somebody with us.
It's a miracle. I didn't bring elephants into this work, but I couldn't. This was, I just went, no, you cannot do it. Don't. Slap myself.
They would be out of place. But, I mean, I still remember the elephant place. It was so wonderfully done. I think Lena is with us. Lena. She's exploring with us, which is great. So this area is... Oh, you have something... Oh, God, I'm still alive.
It's heavy. I'm warning you. This is not a giggle area. Yeah. So I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be. It's wonderful. But I can imagine, because it almost feels like we're invading your privacy, because I can imagine... a piece, an exhibit this creative has a lot of emotion and thought that went into it. That's probably very private and probably at times a little difficult to share. I mean, when you're not there and people are looking around, it's probably a little bit easier to handle. But here we are, in your face, making you come with us. Fine. Okay.
These are not. None of these have been my stories to date. My stories turn up further down the line in this work, and I had a very unusual thing happen to me in the course of creating this work. I can either tell you about it now or I can tell you when we actually get to the scene. That's up to you.
Yeah, let's do it when we get to the scene. So then it'll be self-explanatory as well. So we go up these stairs then, I'm assuming, next, right?
Quickly.
Okay. The texturing is so amazing as well. I love all the different textures you've used. Is this a soup can? Oh, it is. Let me see. Oh, wow. Sexual rejection soup. Oh. Vitriol. So true.
So this is a lead-in into a piece on acid attack victims.
Yeah.
And I used the Andy Warhol soup tin as, I don't know, just seemed like the right thing to do at the time as a lead up to it. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know why I do the things I do. It just appears in my brain and I'm pretty confident to follow those instincts.
I think that's how art works, right?
Someone smarter than me to break them down and make sense of them.
Which way do we go now? Or I go straight through?
Yeah. There's it's phantom. Like I deliberately sort of like show you this way, Strawberry.
This way.
More breadcrumbs.
Oh, okay. Let's see what this says. I'm not reading everything, but I am trying to cam in so, you know, the viewers can read if they want. Hit pause on the video. But, yeah.
Well, it's a long work to get through. If you just walk through and don't pay attention, just navigate the standard way, you're looking at 15 to 20 minutes to make it through. If you stop and consider it, I've got no idea because I created it, so the impact on me is quite different.
What this globe is wonderful. How did you do that? It's rotating and everything. Gender-based violence, acid attacks.
That texture goes right back to the competitions with the UWA. I'd done a Torso Fire series, and I'm going to credit this texture to Mr. Chris Lehman.
Oh, Chris, yeah. Botanicals.
I love using friends gifted me textures over the years, and I love using my friends' textures in my builds. Not only are they beautiful textures, but it makes me feel it's comforting. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was mesmerized by it, and then I saw what was written underneath, and I was like, oh man, heartbreaking. But yeah.
Yeah, while I was working on this, I actually gave Chris a quick IM and just went, Chris, remember that fuel texture you gave me about 8 years ago? Well, I'm using it again. So
Chris is great talent. Oh, so we go this way now, right?
Huge talent. Yep.
Okay. What does this say? What's the glowing?
Well, it's a chemical compound for acid.
You're right. Okay. I had to cam out to see all of it. Okay. Wow. This piece is really powerful. I love the way you did the smudged lipstick too there. I don't know if you realized how much of like how your work is speaking, how much the words, the powerful words that are coming out of your work right now. It's almost to an emotional level, especially for those that have been through certain. Sorry, I'm starting to get emotional here. This is wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, when I was reading and doing research, on this piece, because it's not enough just to put something out there and go, hey, look what I did, isn't this a great topic, doesn't that rattle everyone's cage? You know, you've got to invest more than that. Absolutely. You know, my empathy started in choosing the topic, but I have to, you know, I consider I've got to put my work in. And one thing that I read, and I've got the quote up there before, was a woman said, you know, in my town, it's easier to get the acid that attacked me than it is to find a colour lipstick you like.
Lipstick, right. I saw that quote.
Yeah. You know, and that's why I've done that. You know, I've deliberately represented that in the sculptural piece.
It's wonderful. I love it. So we're gonna walk this way now, around it.
That's a good. Okay. That's a good.
I'm kind of glad that I'm doing this with you because I'm pretty sure I would have been lost. Especially with the phantom wall at that point. I would have been like, where do I go now? Okay, what does this say? Let me cam in here.
Bit of Maya Angelou poetry.
Oh, I love that. So I'm gonna walk here. Are these eyeballs on cushions?
This goes back to Jane Elliott, who I saw her work on racism after Martin Luther King had been killed. After she, the documentaries about her teaching her very young school-age class about trying to explain racism and what had happened. And she did the blue-eye, brown-eye experiment in her class, brown-eyed, sorry. And I saw that at a really good time in my life because it really made me cognizant of what people go through that aren't atypically white, atypically, financially comfortable, etc., etc., etc. I can never fully know because I've had the advantages of not having to deal with these things, but Anyway, so long story short, that's represented in the chairs. If you actually sit in them, I've recreated in my own way that experiment she did. So if you're in a certain chair, you're going to have a lot of options and you're going to be spoken to really nicely. And if you are in the other chair, you're going to get told to sit down and shut up and be quiet, and your options are going to be quite limited. So, and there's a bit of a quote up there because I had emailed Jane Elliott and told her that I was representing her work at 1 Billion Rising, and much to my absolute shock, she replied.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and the woman adds, I fear her. She is she doesn't suffer fools. And, I'd sent her some screenshots of the work and she was very encouraging and, I don't want to be ageist, so I'm not going to mention her age, but I mean, if I'm as on the ball and absolutely, functioning in life to the degree that she is and open-minded, even in a year, let alone, X amount more, I will be one happy woman.
That's wonderful that she responded and everything, and it just kind of validates your
well, she gave me that quote. The quote on the wall there, she offered us.
She offered it. Oh wow!
For this piece. That's not being cut and pasted from somewhere.
I already cammed on it.
Any feedback you'd like me to share in the work, I'd be so honoured. And she said, I'm giving you this. So when she gave me the chair thing, it was evident I had to go from there into this little portion.
Okay. I want to see this one over here. Do I go this way? I kind of want to zoom in on this piece over here with the little...
Sort of like a room, I guess, of bits. There's that's the Norman Rockwell piece that I did my own little intervention with for this area. And then I've got what I call this absolute failed piece off to the left here.
Oh, right. I missed
that. There's a media... it's a section where you have the option to use media because there's screens and media overlays on some objects in this area. So someone I highly respect thinks this is not a good segment of salt. Oh,
this is what was based on This Is America by Childish Gambino?
Absolutely. So this is where you'll get that playing on varying objects.
So this one right here, the one I want to walk to it. This got media in it right here.
Where I'm facing here, where I've got it cordoned off.
Oh,
so I'm like, what do you do? I'm really 50-50. I love this when I did it, but I trust my friend. So I went, okay, I can live with failure. I'm just going to cordon it off and let people know how you can engage, and maybe somebody likes it and maybe they don't. But, that can be said for anything, can't it, really?
So it's behind the screen here with the chair. And oh, right. Okay, that was in the video.
But I'm not pressing media because you're live streaming. So I don't know what you.
Yeah, I don't have it played, so because then
But
it'll go in the stream.
I've actually been a little bit tricky about it. I've made everything phantom, so people can move
Oh, okay.
in.
Okay, let me do that then.
And I like the one part I do like about this is that, you know, cordoning somebody off from something really works for me at a level of what I'm trying to say with this segment of the work. So maybe that's the work itself. You know? Lack
Absolutely.
of access. And if I'd been braver, I would have just absolutely made it inaccessible totally. But I think that could just come across as SL being broken or me being not knowing what I'm doing.
No, it's great the way you did it, and I'm so glad you brought it in because I feel like it's one of the most powerful, not just music, it's like art, this video. If you watch it over and over again, it's one of the most powerful pieces, I think, in the 21st century so far anyways.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where to go. Each segment has got a certain amount of investment to the whole picture of it.
Yeah.
And this one, like I said, even when Safia asked me about doing the 1 billion rising, I'm going, how can I comment on these things? You know, I've got so many advantages over people that I'm hoping to represent with some authenticity. You know, it almost seems like I can't think of the right word at the moment. So there was something lacking in this section. I thought I'll come back to it. And then the Childish Gambino video came out and I was just hooked on it. I played it maybe
beautiful.
30 times in a row. And I went, perfect. That's a perfect contemporary piece. What I do want to say is this is not just America. This is a world issue, you know. So a lot of what he brings up is not exclusive to the US by any long shot.
Yeah.
So taking a bit of responsibility there. Yeah. So that's about it.
It's great. I love it. So where do we walk from here? Is it this way?
Okay. Yeah, through here.
Okay.
Strawberry, why do you do this to me? And notice the little notes I've got here about turning your media off, and they're kind of snarky, which works in with Jane. You know, Jane Elliott's mannerism for, you know, getting people in line, and I respect her for it. So it's not that I'm a nasty person, but you're going to get snarked because it meets the agenda of the piece.
So when you come here, you suggest people turn their media on?
Yeah, there's a little sign over where those cordoned off ropes are, and it sort of says, you know, that's an option.
This is yours too? You created this yourself?
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Amazing. I gotta
yeah, this is another heavy piece. I mean, they all are sort of until you get to the end.
Yeah. Is that a pregnant? Is she supposed to be?
That's
I can't tell.
That's the gender dysmorphia angel.
Right,
so this piece is looking at, you know, the plain black cubes are representative of each person that who is transgender, who died unlawfully last year, and that's, you know, there's a story in the background of my notes as to why I went with this piece, and the sculpture is like to represent that diversity of not knowing, not just a different representation of sexuality and conflicts within that. You really need somebody more. I've got people that matter to me that have experienced some. I can't even put it into words. I can't.
It's just.
I think the work's enough.
Yeah. I love this piece with the broken plate with the. It's so much symbolism, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So we have to walk through the cubes to go to the next part? Is that how?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. You've really thought this whole thing out so wonderfully. I love how it's set up and everything. And I can't believe this is just the LEA7. It seems huge. You've done a lot with them. It's just one sim, right, that you're on? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is this?
How I
Uh-huh.
how I constructed this was I start and I go like, there's your landing point. Throw a prim down, texture it. Okay, so I want to do this next. So I create an environment that complements the scene for whatever segment that I'm working on. And I do that and then I go, okay, where are we going next? Transition, next segment. So the build just grows. It just... Okay, now why are my fish not moving? Are they moving for you? Oh, there they are. People must be touching things.
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah,
have to
I see
change the
the
scripts.
I see the fish moving.
Oh, okay, good, good, good.
Goldfish.
So this is the next segment. This is one of my stories. This one.
This one here. Will you tell us about it?
Yeah. My brother died of a cot death when I was quite young. And
how old was he?
He was 8 months old.
Oh.
And that was the catalyst for my family falling apart. My parents didn't cope. There was two of us, myself and my sister. My brother came later on. The legacy of that, of the loss of Robert, played out for generations. And there's some poetry on the chairs. There's poetry rendered. These are just template pieces that represent what I needed them to do. I couldn't invest more than that. But this is, I was talking about the really the odd thing that occurred. Sorry, I'm getting a bit...
Understandable. You want to take a minute?
Sorry?
You want to take a minute to take some water or something? Really heavy, I have to say, really heavy pieces, but wonderfully done.
I had a very strange... I've just had a sip of coffee. A strange experience when I did this. I created this scene, and a friend had come over and had a look at it and said, oh, I like this, very surrealist. And this wasn't... because I had promised myself if I was going to air other people's stories in this work, I had to have the guts to air my own.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just trading. You're using people's hard knocks as a commodity in
also,
a work.
it's important for you to put your personal touch, right? Your own personal story as part of the piece.
Absolutely. And I avoided it like the plague, but it kept on hitting me occasionally. So this piece is one of them. And I ended up pulling the original work apart. And I had, you listen to music while you're working and you're thinking, and this prayer had come to me that we used to say when we were children and at bedtime. And it used to, as a child, it used to really confuse me because it's like, I pray the Lord my soul to keep if I should die before I wake. I'm like, this is not the thing to be saying to children when they go to bed. I used to really, really upset me. So I had decided to render that on the cot mattress in this part because it worked for me in this story. And I had, been working the cloud textures in Photoshop or whatever I was in at the time, GIMP, I don't recall. And I had put the poetry on it and I'd seen it all and I'm like, okay, well, I've just got to upload that in Word and drop it on that mattress texture. And I dropped it on the mattress and as it read, I started to sob. I literally started to sob. And, it took me aback. I was absolutely shocked by my own reaction to something that I'd created in world, having that impact on me. It was... So from there, the poem eventuated, and I don't consider myself a writer, but there is a poem that people can come and view about what happened. There's the chairs represent...
Okay.
Yeah, that represents my parents. And... to the far right is the outcome, the outcome of how things panned out. It's a very complex set of generations amassed into one very small piece.
I mean, I can see why you would get so emotional because I'm looking at it right now. Even just looking at the words in the cot when I saw it earlier was very emotional, especially if you have been through something like that. So, yeah. And I love I love the surrealism of it. Like I love the fish and everything that you've added. I think it's perfect for the, for the purpose of this piece.
Thank you. Very hard for me because, as you know, I work commercially and I want to decorate. I can't, like I say to friends, I can't make a sandwich without decorating it, and I have to, there was this battle ongoing in this work is not to be Eliza doing Patron, doing pretty, but that's very much part of me at the same time too. I have a certain mode or style or so I spent a lot of time pulling things out of this work or questioning the validity of it. So I'm glad you enjoy my fish.
No, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful addition to this piece. Absolutely. I'm enjoying it a lot. I have to tell you though, it's very heavy. For my own personal reasons, it is very heavy. So, okay. So which way do we go next?
Okay, are you okay there?
Yeah,
I'm not going to do breadcrumbs on this.
I'm going to be fine, hopefully.
Okay.
I'm going to this way.
To get one of those couples AOs where we hold hands and walk around together and just sort of.
Then I can just sit back and relax, and you can drag me everywhere.
Go there.
So, am I walking the right way? I hope.
Yep.
Okay, great. Is that how those couples things work, though? I haven't actually ever tried one before. That would be great because I'm lazy. I would just love to.
Years ago, I tried one. It was very laggy. I think I had an idea that I wanted to just go sim experimenting, traveling, but get piggybacked around. Some friend of mine,
right. I've seen that piggyback, right.
But nobody likes lag.
Does it cause a lot of lag?
Well, probably, I don't know what they do today in 2018, but they did back then.
What's this image of?
This is Kim. This is, if you start over to our right, to our immediate right.
Oh, okay.
So Kim is the little girl who was burned in the napalm attacks. The iconic photo or talk of her running down the street.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think I do.
So this is Kim as Madonna, the not as a Madonna the pop star, but as a Madonna in herself, The reason Kim's introduced here is because this is yet another part of, like I said, everything here matters to me. Some of it's not my own, but the stories have had some import in the course of my life. So I remember seeing this image. It may have been on Life. It was probably on Life magazine. Had flashed in front of me during my childhood. And I had gone to people and gone, why is this little girl naked? Why is she running down? What's happening with her skin? And people didn't talk about stuff like that. Oh, no, it's all right. Just, move on. No answers. No one would answer me. Mm-hmm. So it just, at certain ages, certain things impact and you just never extract them from your psyche. So Kim came up in Flower Drum too, because I've never been able to abandon her over the years. And we've got these textiles here because people may not read the more expansive notes by a Vietnamese traditional artist, unknown. And I wish I could have credited her or him. But there's a play into I just thought there was a real play into the malevolence of the experience that this young girl and others like her experience. So on the flip side of that, you have Kim here as a woman with her own child after having moved to Canada, where she lives now with her. She has 2 sons and she's lovely husband and living her life, and apparently getting still ongoing a lot of surgeries resultant of those burns that happened to her at 9 years of age. But technology is improving, and apparently it's improving the quality of her life. She's getting more. She's the last things I was reading by her was that she's able to drive more easily because the scarring is less tight, and it's not even about cosmetics. It's about just being able to function.
Right, absolutely.
Without fear, pain or restriction.
Can you imagine how much pain she must? But imagine in Canada, I wonder if the weather makes it even worse. Because, I mean, oh,
Well,
it's so dry
I
up
don't
there.
think she had any choice. She
Yeah.
had, the government had used her for propaganda ongoing after, and she had wanted to go to medical school and become a doctor, and, you know, she was too good to drag out for propaganda reasons. So she wasn't allowed to do the things with her life that she wanted. And she fell in love and they went on a honeymoon. And when her and her husband went on a honeymoon, Canada was, just trying to think, I've got a friend from there. I'll think of it later. Strawberry, you should have pre-warned me. Anyway, long story short, went on a honeymoon and defected. Like, just, I'm not sure what the accurate term is, but
Just
asked
stayed
the
there?
Canadian government to
Yeah.
take them in, and then Canada said, yes, you can stay here, and she started a new life. I think they're on their way to Moscow.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Do you go Canada Moscow? Is that a normal flight route? I really don't know.
I have no idea. I'm not from Canada, but I know Canada is very welcoming, especially to people who are distraught in distraught situations like that, which is wonderful. So which way do we turn next? We go this way?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like my stream, I don't want to make my stream too long because I would like people to come check it out themselves as well.
Yeah, sorry. Ranting
No,
a bit.
no,
I'll try and
ranting
tone
is
it down.
great. The ranting is great.
I think the caffeine is kicking in.
It's good. It's good. Is that somebody sitting here in the chair, or is that part of the?
Yep. There's Lena sitting in the chair.
Oh, okay.
Just say hi to
Okay.
everyone. I don't think I'm ignoring them. Oh my god, I'll be so unpopular.
But the chair is part of the exhibit, right? Okay, good. That's what I put.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
This piece, again, from the 1 Billion Rising, though
Right.
reworked into something else. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really want to discuss
Yeah,
the pieces in this room for personal reasons.
that's fine. And I think that's good. Let people just. I'm just gonna cam and show everything, especially all the words. This is wow. How did you even do this? I also
Because
get
I'm
blown.
magic.
You are magic. I also could just get blown away just by the technology. You know, in SL being able to do all these different things. Like she's actually just kind of rotating, dancing on her own there. Well, not dancing, but and those pieces of glass. That's not an avatar, right? This like
Where?
I'm looking to my right over here. Hang on, let me walk towards it. I cammed around. This right
That's
here.
you, Pa. Yeah, that's you, Pa.
That's an avatar?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I have the name tags off, so I couldn't tell if this was like some sort of something that you did. Let me see.
Oh,
Oh, right. Okay, that's you.
a
Okay.
little bit outside my skill base for animating, just quietly.
Wow.
Beautiful, though.
Well, it is beautiful. Absolutely.
Cooper did some troubleshooting for me inadvertently. Came in and said, is everyone meant to be blocked from this segment? I'm like, oh, God. No.
Always happens.
Let me just take you over and fix that, shall I?
So now we go this way?
Yep.
It almost feels like if I walk into the square, I'm going to fall in. But I don't think that's the case, right? Am I going to
No,
fall
you
in?
should be good.
No, right, yeah. But it's really well done, the 3D effect there. Okay. Let me turn off the name tags again. I feel like with the name tags it gets so noisy and I really want to show the art properly. Wow. This is your drawing?
Mm-hmm.
What can you not do? Seriously. It's wonderful.
Lots and lots.
That's hard to believe.
Things start to lighten up here, which is good, I think, and it's a heavy piece. So
Yeah.
this is where we start to get a bit more playful.
I love the butterflies. The wings on the butterflies. Are they almost look like cloth.
There's a little bit transparent, but there's another stream that goes through this work, which is kintsugi, and it's that Japanese, embracing the flawed or the broken. Mm-hmm. And you know how they do the repairs with the gold seams in things? Have you seen much of that around?
Yes. So that's what the gold seams are there for. The gold is there. Okay.
Yeah. But texturally, there are a few stories going on through this work.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so we continue walking this way, right?
Absolutely. I'm just thanking a friend who's leaving. I won't be a moment.
No problem. Take your time. I'm just going to be camming. Want to make sure people in my stream can see it, and hopefully they'll come and visit. Once again, I do want to remind you guys that I did put the slurl. This is at Salt at LEA7 by Eliza Wierwight, and I have the link in the description, and I will be blogging about this as well. So I know everybody always asks for my style details, and I will have that in my blog post hopefully later tonight if I get a chance. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow if I miss it, because tomorrow is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to everybody in America. Anyways, I don't know across the world if it's.
I mute myself for a moment because I feel like I need to have a little cough. How do I do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Just turn off your mic. Oh, you probably press speak, right? To talk. Yeah. So if you turn the mic off, we should still stay connected, but you can cough away hopefully. And I'm just walking over here. This looks like broken china pieces. Oh, the call has ended. All right, hang on. I'll wait for Eliza to finish coughing, and then I'll give her a call back. Yeah, it looks like those, like the blue china, but I don't know. Could be wrong. The pieces are wonderful. There's so much that you could read from them. So I do hope you guys give it a visit. I love this artist here. It's wonderful. Let me see. Okay. Oh, good. Are you still there, Eliza?
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. We got disconnected, so I wanted to make sure you got all your coughing out. There's somebody holding a chicken here. I don't think they're part of the exhibit. Can you see that?
I suspect. Yeah, I can. I suspect Nax has had something to do with that.
I'm like, is she holding a chicken or something?
Giving people chicken type of people.
So I was saying to the people on my stream, I think this is like broken china pieces or something. Am I correct? Like the blue china, yeah.
And there's the piece that I'm actually requesting, if you wouldn't mind, like grabbing a little bit of footage of for people, is just over here where Yupa is, in the glass case.
Yeah.
But Cam from. Yeah, oh, you've already caught that cam from the direction, because there's a little note in there from me to people, and
let's see what it says. We are the fine art. That's the only note, right? We are the fine art.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I did cam on it earlier, but I wanted to make sure people see the note, and that's where the gold filler is.
Yeah, so essentially that all the things the difficult things that we contend with, and any moving forward, like to reclaim them and just, see us for what we are.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind people at the end of that, there's a lot of disguising and hiding of conflict and insult in our lives. Put your best foot forward, looking a certain way, rather than seeing it that way. My idea is that we say that these things make us even better. Take the power away from the things that have damaged us, whether it's psychologically, emotionally, physically, genetically, other. you know, so that's my philosophy for this piece.
It's wonderful. I kind of want to take I'm going to pronounce their name improperly, Upalenos, home with me because it's such a great artistic piece. The whole three, they're just...
That's it. I'm getting on the marketplace and getting you one of those tubs immediately.
It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. The art at the bottom, it looks like it's 3D and they're just like floating around it. Okay, so we go this way now, straight ahead here?
Yeah, that's basically it. There are a couple little sculptures that I've just popped down at the bottom of these steps for people just as a, you know, just because I created them and they don't belong any specific place. But this is just an area for people to congregate and chat and listen to music.
And you have music going on the stream?
Yeah, I went over to Shinda and borrowed their music stream.
Oh, okay. So, that's good.
I'm like, I would have liked cello music at the start, and music's a big part of this work for me, and that's that's in the note card. It's sort of specific to where that all fits into it. And I had this very fancy idea that by the time I got round to the end of this, I would have had the deed. Oh, it just couldn't be done. It should have been done at the start. It would have had to be planned differently. So we've got Shinda music, but at the moment we've got music streaming here that I chose and emailed to Eve, who's playing it at the moment. So a lot of Nick Cave, Tom Waits, David Bowie,
nice.
These pieces. It's what I love, but it's also what I was working to when I was creating this. And some of it is integral to certain aspects, you know, times in my life. You know, you have those songs that are just like, that was the song when you were going through this.
Yes.
So there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And look, people don't have to play it. They can listen to Led Zeppelin and go through. It's not for me to say.
No, I think it's important it's kind of will complete the whole experience because they get to hear the music that, you know, resonated with you while you were doing this. I won't be able to turn it on for the stream, but yeah, I recommend the people who come here from my stream to play the music, listen to it while they walk around. Add to the experience. So thank you. I think that this is... Sorry, what were you saying, Eliza?
I was just saying, look at my dear patient friends.
Are they all down there waiting for you?
And they're all here.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time, but I'm really glad that I caught you and you were able to give us this tour because I think it meant a lot. That it probably will mean a lot rather than just me kind of trying to figure it out on my own. You know, gives it more meaning and so forth. So thank you so much, Eliza. It's wonderful. It's powerful. It's emotional. You had me.
I'm pretty
emotional. But somebody is saying you're very rude. I'm gonna take the blame. I'm sorry. All my fault.
Yeah. Blame her. I'm pointing. If I knew how to point, I'd be pointing in world.
So I'm gonna share the YouTube stream with you. It should go up very soon. It should be live soon, or you can watch it if you want. And once again, thank you so much, Eliza. I'm gonna finish off the stream with the people who are watching. So I'm gonna disconnect us. Did you want to share anything else with us before I disconnect us?
No, just thank you for your time, Strawberry. I'm, floored that you turned up and that you know, our time is the most important thing we have, and that you've used it for soul. So, my gratitude, sincere gratitude.
No, I appreciate. I know you told me yesterday. I was like, I really wanted to go, but I had so much going on. But I made sure that I figured I'll just give it a little time, and hopefully I'll catch you too. So it turned out well. Thank you again. I'm going to disconnect us, and I just do want to let you know the people on my stream are saying thank you very much, and they found the place very interesting, and they're looking forward to visiting as well. So that's great.
Oh, lovely. Bye, people.
Okay, bye, Liz. I'm gonna disconnect us. Okay, make sure my voice is off. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for spending some time with us today, exploring. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. and I hope you give it a moment and visit. Again, the link is in the description of the video, and I will also be doing a blog post with my style credits and everything very soon, I promise. Hopefully, if I can do it tonight, if not, hopefully Monday. And hope you guys give it a visit. I forgot to ask her how long it's open till. Let me see if I can get that information. How long is this place open till? And then I'll also put that in my blog post. I can't believe I totally forgot to ask her. Yeah, so go ahead and visit, you guys. It's wonderful. I'm just gonna kind of cam around a little bit, and then I'm gonna take off. And again, click over to my blog post once it's up. I'll put more details and links and when how long it's open till and all that there. All right, guys. Thanks for exploring with me. Have a great day.